When I first burned out, all I wanted was the old me back. I wanted my old brain, my old memory, my old energy, my old passion, just like even my own ambition, my own ability to be me and do shit. That's basically how I measured recovery from burnout for a long time. And not just me. Let's get things clear. My doctor, the insurance, because I was off of work, that's how they measured everything too. Like, how close am I to being me again? How much can I do? How long can I work? How productive am I being? And then, after going back to work and crashing harder, less than 6 months after returning, all I could ask myself was, why the hell am I trying so fucking hard to be that person? She burns out. Maybe getting back to the person who could tolerate literally way too much is not the goal. Maybe it's not the same thing as recovering. Shit, that was hard to accept. Because old me, she could tolerate a lot, and she got rewarded for it. Fully rewarded, constantly. With more shit to do, mostly. But I was reliable and competent, and I felt like that gave me a reason to be and to keep going. And the adrenaline. Oof, I lived off of it probably for over a decade. I think I lived only on adrenaline to keep going. There's a fire over there. Oh, leave it with me. I got it. Don't know what to do with this. No problem. Leave it with me. I'll figure it out. Even if my body screamed, I just overrode that. Now I see it. I was overriding my body and my cues left and right. And being able to override it, I thought, was one of my biggest strengths. I was so proud of it, just to keep going. Maybe some of it was. Now I'm really wondering how much of me being capable was me overriding everything my body was telling me. Especially being neurodivergent, which was only diagnosed during my burnout. The masks fell all the way off. I mean, I was always quirky and artsy and witchy, but I can certainly not even hide that from anyone anymore. I'm okay with that part. Before burnout, how much of me was overcompensating and hyperfocus and adrenaline? I know a lot of me was adrenaline and masking or finding out elaborate ways to make myself keep going. Because from the outside, that can look like you have all your shit together, even to yourself. Because I did. I thought I had my shit together until I didn't have a choice but to face everything. So exactly 4 years ago, in the middle of vacation, I was on week 2 of my vacation at home. I woke up, I could hear my husband and dogs downstairs. He was talking to them, and I was so excited to be off and to just spend time with my little family during the summer. I remember being in bed just grateful for life, grateful for everything, and then I decided to get up, and I couldn't get up. I was 33, healthy. That had never happened to me before. So the sheer amount of adrenaline and panic that flooded my body, I can't even describe it. I was stuck to my bed. Even panicking, I couldn't move. And usually panic made me focus. If you have ADHD, you know. Usually stress really made me zone in, hone in, and be the best at dealing with crisis. But not that day. I couldn't even, words weren't coming out of my mouth. I could not yell for my husband to come upstairs. Nothing was coming out. Yeah, I think I stayed in bed maybe 30 minutes before he came up just to check if I needed anything. That day was something else. I'm really grateful that, in hindsight, I'm not grateful that he burnt out, but I'm grateful that he knew what burnout was, because he was going through his own already. He'd been recovering for a couple years when that happened to me, and he knew. He understood. I'm very lucky and super grateful because I had somebody there who knew how to take care of me, who knew that the symptoms weren't going to be the same that they were for him. But when I needed him to bring me from the bed to the bathroom because I couldn't physically bring myself there, he did it. He didn't ask questions. He was there to tell me everything was going to be okay. And I know that's not everybody's experience, and I'm really fucking sorry. I wish everybody understood. It's not even like it's other people's faults necessarily. If you've burnt out, you know you didn't understand how it felt before you lived it yourself, right? Yeah. So I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I was in an absolute panic. My panic attacks were kind of semi-regular at that point anyways, which should have been a very big clue. But that started a week-long, I would say, cycle of anxiety attacks, which were harder because I couldn't express myself and I couldn't move. Yeah. So that's when I had to, for the first time, stop working 4 years ago. I thought, okay, I'll be off for a few months. I'll sleep. I'll get better. I'll get on some antidepressants because clearly I have a panic problem. Yeah. It was really hard trying to explain burnout to people, except for people who had already gone through it. To my doctor, it was hard. The insurance companies kept calling me every couple weeks just to know how I was, and I didn't even understand how I was myself, so to put that in words, that was interesting. Eventually, after the first week or two, I was able to get up myself again, but everything was different. Taking a shower took 100% of the energy I had in my tank. So I would get up, shower if I had it in me, and go nap. And that was after a 10 to 12 hours sleep, you know? So if you're there, you're not alone. If you've been there, you're not the only one. I was just so scared of not finding myself again, of never being myself again. Not recognizing your own mind is something I don't think I knew came with burnout. I really didn't. I did not know that not recognizing my thoughts was something that would happen to me. And that was very much something that happened to me. It was scary. All I wanted was to be myself again. What I'm saying here, sorry, I had to restart the camera. My phone was heating up. So what I'm saying is that basically, I'm not saying I stopped in time. I didn't figure it out before it was too late. It was way fucking late in the game when I realized I was burnt out. So my body made the decision for me. And that's something I have to live with still. It's a little embarrassing to me that my body had to just stop because I wouldn't. I really thought I knew what recovery would look like. I thought, rest, get better, go back to life. I seen both my husband go through burnout for 2 years at that point. And when I was growing up, my mother went through burnout cycles for her whole career as a teacher. You can imagine. So I should have known better, but I didn't. I really thought it was going to be rest, get better, go back, because I was different. And again, I wasn't, because both my husband and mother were so passionate about their jobs too. But I thought, oh no, I love my job. I love what I do. I just need to rest and I'll be fine. That simple. But the reality was that the better I got, the little pockets of energy I was getting back that were mine, I did not feel like spending them on shit that didn't light me up. And that was a hard pill to swallow, because all of a sudden, the stuff I thought I loved doing, or that I convinced myself that I could do, they didn't feel good. The longer I listened to my body, the more some things irked me that I didn't realize did. Like noise, societal pressure, just having to make decisions, or feeling a constant urgency. All of what I used to kind of thrive on. Oh, and it still rubs me the wrong way now. Being needed all the time, that's something I loved. Yes, need me. And all of a sudden, with burnout, it was like, please leave me the F alone. I can't help anybody. Doing things just because I should, ignoring my needs to make other people comfortable, all of that, I couldn't anymore. And that sudden lack of tolerance really messed with my head. I do realize I say fuck a lot, so I might not be for you. because I'm trying to not say it every sentence and it's still coming out. So anyway, where was I? Oh my God. Oh yeah, that lack of tolerance, it fucked me up for a while. Because trying to get better, feeling like you are finally getting a little better out of burnout, and suddenly having zero, almost, tolerance for a bunch of stuff you used to be able to do or handle or whatever, it doesn't feel like progress. It felt like regression. It felt like I was a kid for a bit. So add that to losing all your words, forgetting basically how to count because your brain is in such a friggin' fog. Anyway, it did not feel good. All I could keep hearing again and again is like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Why can't I do any of this anymore? And how many years is it gonna take before I find myself? Okay. Oh, the camera overheated again. So I think we're a little bit in a different angle, but anyway, here we go. Where the heck was I? Oh yeah, I don't think I'm any less capable now. Maybe a little on some levels, but not really. Because like I learned a lot of new stuff too. I'm learning to listen to my body. I'm learning what the cost of all of that go, go, go type of life is, for me at least. So that's big. It is big. I don't know. I'm not pretending to have like the cure to burnout. Certainly not. Or to know exactly how to get out of it. I'm still learning. But I also think that going from I can't do anything anymore, which is how I was in the beginning, to where I am now, which is I'm no longer willing to abandon all of who I am, or all of my energy, all of my soul, all of my purpose, to do a bunch of just stuff that doesn't actually matter to me. But here's the thing. I still want a big fucking life. And I'm not waiting until I'm completely cured, which I don't know if I ever will be technically. And again, I do not want to be that person anymore. So my nervous system has a different tolerance now, or at least I like to say it in the way that's like, I ignored myself for so long that now it takes over real quick because it knows that I might not listen. Anyway, my tolerance is smaller, but that's cool. I still want a big fucking life and I'm not waiting. I'm just not waiting for it. So to me, this means I'm not deep in burnout anymore. Just the fact that I know I'm not deep in burnout. I'm dressed. My teeth have been brushed. I am in a car. Like nothing. It's not how it was. But it's also not how I used to be before burnout. But as I said, I still want a big life. I am so red. It is hot today. I still want a big life. I want to follow my ambitions. I still want to write and create art and make money and just like attract abundance and cool people. A community I didn't even realize I was craving. It's really cool. And I still get to want all of that big stuff, just without the corporate stuff. For me, I know it's some people's calling, but for an artistic witch like me, it certainly wasn't. Yeah, no, but it doesn't mean the ambitious part of me's gone away. If any of you are into astrology, I have like 4 planets in Capricorn. So I can't let go of the ambition even if I really wanted to for a while. But that's okay. It's part of me and it's there and I still get to have it. It just has to look different. I want to create things. I want to reach a lot of people. I just want to keep creating shit. I want to keep going. I want big shit, big stuff. And that's okay. I don't want burnout recovery to become a cage for myself or for anybody else. And this, I'm going to say it because it's coming in a little bit out from outside of me, but I don't want it to be discouraging to people. But I don't think burnout recovery actually has like a finish line, maybe, possibly. I wouldn't have wanted to hear that in the beginning because that burnout was way too much. That part finishes. The horrible fucking where you feel like you're dying at any moment, that part, it goes away. But the recovery or the burnout, at least for me and for the people I know, it's kind of just learning to rebuild a new life, a life that you just don't need to recover from. There's a truck. Well, I had to switch spots because there was a big truck that needed where I was. Anyway, I'll take that as a confirmation that burnout recovery doesn't necessarily have a finish line, but I would like you to see that, if you can, as encouraging, or at least encouraging you just to create a different type of life. Create a life you don't want or need to recover from anymore. Yeah, sound good? The big questions I'm asking myself lately are, can I be ambitious without using my whole soul as fuel? Can I build something really big without losing myself inside of that thing? I still want to be me. Is there a way I can be successful without being available all the time? That for me would feel like a life I don't have to recover from. How can I make good money easily, freely, without having to get myself exhausted, or without having to prove how exhausted I am and that's why I have money? Can I let myself be seen without being responsible for everybody that does see me? And another one for me lately has been, can I work and rest in the same day? Can I work and still allow myself rest? And can I create a big, lovely life that also has room for me in it, where I'm actually the main character of my life? So yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out now, not waiting until I'm perfectly recovered to figure that stuff out. And I'm curious to know what type of life you would like. What type of life you would feel like you don't have to recover from. What would be the little tweaks? What makes your whole soul vibrate higher? I'm getting into the spiritual and witchy shit, but I can't get away from that because that's part of me anyway. So it's funny because with burnout, my world got so small because I cut a lot of stuff out to take care of me. But because of that, I reconnected a lot with the stuff that I was kind of putting on a shelf. Intuition, my body, tarot, just small practices that I used to really love doing that I didn't have the energy for anymore. Those were the first things to come back for me. You know, the things that feel right without making any sense on paper or without you having any explanation for, that stuff, the gut, that came back first. And because I wasn't forcing myself to work or just put that stuff aside, made me realize how I love to feel connected to the earth and to people a lot more than I remember. I'm not saying that tarot cured my burnout, and I'm not saying to go get a pink quartz and it's gonna regulate your whole nervous system on its own, but I am saying that little rituals really helped me come back to me. Little things like just talking intentions in a cup of tea, or spending time with one of my favorite trees in my backyard. You know, little things. Yeah. I did spend most of my life, I would say about 15-year-old me forward, would ask like, what do I need to do? What makes sense? What should I do? What's responsible? What do people want me to do? How am I going to be a good person? Well, that's not a bad thing to think, but like, how am I going to be a good adult? And now I'm kind of just learning to ask what feels right for me. And that's kind of making me realize I have to be more open about the spiritual witchy side of me. I want the witchy stuff and I want the nerdy stuff too, which is probably why this channel is going to be a little mix of a lot of stuff, but we'll get tarot and intuitive stuff, as well as probably psychology, research I did, and stuff like that, and my experience. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not here to teach anybody the right way to do burnout. I'm just someone who went through it, and I'm still going through parts of it, and someone who became slightly obsessed about learning why everything was happening to me and what I could do to make my life a little bit less chaotic, to feel better. So when I first burned out, I really wanted my old life back. I wanted my brain. God, I wanted my brain. I wanted my energy. I wanted my ambition. I wanted my old life. But now I don't want the life that made me lose all of that in the first place. I don't. So maybe burnout recovery is not about getting our old life back. It's probably just about making a life we don't need to recover from. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I'm building it. I'll figure it out as I go, and I will do it in front of you, with you, if you're willing to stick around. If you're burnt out or witchy or neurodivergent or just like ambitious as all hell, but you're tired of giving all of yourself to your ambitions, hi, I think you belong here.